emissions test for vehicles 1996 and newer. My truck is a 2001, so I have to do emissions, and I just replaced the battery in it because it wouldn't start. Now it starts, but we still got to get it to pass emissions, and we fixed the other couple of things that were wrong with it. And it's just kind of annoying, the emissions thing, and then you got to pay for the emissions inspection. It's just annoying. So, and also in Missouri, we also have really cool winters where, everything's just ice and snow. And then when it rains, stuff also floods. And the truck is rear-wheel drive, and it has a 2-liter 4-cylinder. Pretty sure it's known as GM's Iron Duke because it's pretty reliable and gets decent gas mileage. But the rear-wheel drive thing isn't necessarily bad, but it's pretty easy to, slide off the road in a 2-wheel drive vehicle here. My dad did it in an all-wheel drive truck right over here on the left. And, it's pretty dangerous. There's no guardrails on this road here. So I was thinking about taking the cab and the bed and everything off the top and just taking it down to the frame and putting Chevy Trailblazer parts in there, and then getting rid of the '01 frame and replacing it with like a 1994 Chevy S10 frame. And then using the metal from the old frame to, maybe make something else. And then possibly someday replacing the 4-cylinder with something else. Who knows? There's a whole possibility of options because Chevy went ahead and put a whole bunch of different cars, not Chevy, just General Motors in general, put a whole bunch of different vehicles on the same platform as the S10, the Blazer, the Trailblazer, GMC Canyon, the S10. So they're all on the same platform. So you can just kind of mix and match parts, and they should all fit together as long as the wheelbase is the same size. But I have the extended cab with, I believe, the 6-foot bed. So it's a little bit different to try and find a vehicle that is the exact same length that has, the 4x4 system or whatever the Trailblazer had. But, it's pretty good. You get those locking differentials, I'm pretty sure is what it has. It might have limited slip. Don't quote me on that. I don't know about a lot about the Trailblazer, but it's a pretty cool little SUV. Throw some of those parts at the S10, and it'll be a lot more capable for rain and snow and ice and that sort of thing. Maybe put a little skid plate on the bottom. Joe and do a little bit of off-roading. That might be fun. Who doesn't love a little bit of off-roading? If you don't enjoy off-roading, go to the hospital. There's something wrong with you. Off-roading is so cool. Go right over some rocks. If you like mudding, that's cool. Driving a old little SUV or truck through a big old swamp. I mean, life doesn't get any better than that. Maybe you want to go up a back trail and do some hunting. That could be fun too. But you're not gonna get up there in a 80 horsepower rear-wheel drive Chevy Trax or whatever they're making. You need something that you can, put parts inside of it. It isn't going to break down on the way there. The Chevy Trax will definitely break down on the way there because it's a Chevy Trax and those suck. But yeah, other than that, Missouri just has the most bipolar weather. We got brutal summers, brutal winters. There's just nowhere you're safe. And then there's like tornado season, and then there's all sorts of garbage on the road. Occasionally, like trees fall down. If you have a truck with a decent amount of torque, you can hook a winch to it and yank that tree right out of the way, and maybe even help your neighbors manage to get to work and not be stuck behind a tree. Maybe your neighbor fell in a ditch. You go in there and haul him out. Isn't that what our neighbor did for you, Dad, when you slid off that like little creek thing?
It wasn't a neighbor. It was just a good citizen patrolling.
So exactly, that kind of thing. Be a good citizen, guys. Sure, I know the people that won't let you merge, they're jerks. But there are some people out there that are just normal people, and you should try and help whenever you can. So you see the random mom, SUV on the side of the road, fell in a ditch or something like that when it's snowing. you have a little truck or something, you know, try and tow them out. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But at least you tried, and you can't say you're a bad person. So yeah.